The 36th District Court in the state of Michigan is now in session with the Honorable Tenisha Yancey presiding. While court is in session, there will be no talking, sleeping, lying down, driving, wearing of head garments unless for religious purposes, chewing of gum, or reading any materials. Proper attire is required. Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning to all of you on YouTube. I again am Judge Yancey. I would like to be able to proceed. Is that Attorney Simon, are you here on behalf of Mr. Bell, Malik Bell?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Are you ready to proceed on that matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
You had an opportunity to talk to the city attorney or prosecutor?
Yes, I have.
And are you waiving your client's appearance, or is he here?
I think he's in the waiting room.
He's here, Your Honor. Give me a moment. I'll bring him out.
Thank you.
He's there.
Mr. Bell is here, Your Honor.
Thank Now calling the people versus Malik, or is it Shawan Malik Bell, ticket number SP 133-42761. Driving unregistered or untitled vehicle, ticket number SP 133-42762. No insurance misdemeanor. Please state your appearance for the record, starting with the attorney.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jonathan Simon, P35596, on behalf of Mr. Bell.
Mr. Bell, will you state your name for the record, please?
Swan Bell.
Today is the date and time set for agreement, Mr. Simon. How would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, these two citations had gone into warrant status. Mr. Bell would ask at this time to set aside the warrant and enter a plea of not guilty.
The court will set aside, will recall the warrants in this matter and will enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Bell. $0 fine.
Your Honor, at the time these citations were issued, there was also a civil infraction for expired plates, which went into default August 22nd, 22. And we're asking for that to be set aside. I spoke with Mr. Goss. He said he would not object.
And do you have a ticket number for that one?
Yeah, SP 137-28411.
41. Okay.
Now,
Set aside on the expired plate.
thank you, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Bell also has two new citations. One is a set for arraignment March 28th. There are 3 misdemeanors, but curiously enough, a civil infraction also issued at that time, even though the misdemeanors are not up until next month. The civil infraction went into default last month.
Okay.
I can give you those case numbers if the court would like.
Yes, please.
Okay, the 3 misdemeanors, SP 141-53581, 582, and 583 are the misdemeanors, and the defaulted civil infraction is SP SP 141-56611, and that is an equipment violation. Again, Mr. Goss does not object to setting aside the default on that civil infraction.
Okay, and the misdemeanors, what's the status on the misdemeanors? He has a future date,
Yes, March 28th.
March 28th for the misdemeanors, and that is for, and it's up for a, not for show cause.
Those are for arraignment, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so the court will set aside ticket number SP 141-56611.
Thank you. Your Honor, there is one more set, also, which are set for arraignment April 24th. There are two misdemeanors and a pending civil infraction.
Ticket number, please.
Misdemeanors are SP 142-78-081 and 082, and the misdemeanor for expired plates is 083.
I do not, oh yeah, I do see it. Okay,
Now, after speaking with Mr. Goss, his recommendation and what I would concur would be to put everything over from to the ones from today, the ones from March 28th, and the ones from April 24th, all over until March 28th for pretrial and hearing. And if we can resolve it, then that would be great. And if not, we can set them all at that time for trial.
okay, it looks like you have one additional, and I would like to combine all of these and so that you are able to get a global offer from the prosecutor, but it looks like there's one additional matter that you did not, and if I'm mistaken, I apologize, but SP 133-04212.
Yeah, I'm showing on that one, there's just a $45 balance. I didn't look it up. I was assuming that it was just a reinstatement fee. But if there is, if it's unresolved then I would ask to join as well in that matter on March 28th.
Okay, it was actually dismissed. It is a reinstatement fee of $45 still outstanding in that matter.
Okay, so then I will encourage Mr. Bell to take care of that before we come back on the 28th.
All right, so just for the record to be clear, the court will recall warrants and set aside on default, enter a plea of not guilty, continue a $0 personal bond, and set these matters for those that are before us today will be set for pre-trial. Well, I believe all of them set for pre-trial, if I'm not mistaken. All of them will be set for pre-trial on.
And the 28th of March was just the date suggested by Mr. Goss. I mean, if the court would prefer to do it on a different date, we're all available whenever it's convenient for Your Honor.
His two future dates are March 28th and April 24th. I think March is really crazy for me. Give me 1 second to double check March and April dates. Because it will be one of the dates that he already has on the docket. Would you object to April 24th if that's a better date for the court?
Let me just check. April 24th is good.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna set these for April 24th, 2023 at 8:35 a.m.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Take care. And congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And Mr. Bell, I need you to stop getting tickets while in between now and April 24th, because we're not getting ready to push these back or combine anything else. You're gonna be on your own after this, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So keep a clean driving record, hand on 10 and 2 from now until at least until April 24th.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
too.
Judge. Take care.
Appreciate it.
You
Bye.
too. Thank you.
Your Honor, and at least from what I could tell, as I said, I think all we have is Officer Shabazz's things, but Officer Shabazz is it's just the civil infraction, and his client is here.
I didn't see his client in the breakup. Well, I didn't see his client.
I talked to him before. Maybe he left. That's possible, but he was here.
Check Shabazz.
George Barnes, I want to say.
It's Ballard. Officer Shabazz. Can you unmute?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you here? Who are you here on?
George Barnes, Your Honor.
Yeah, George Barnes.
Are you Abdul Shabazz?
Yes, I am.
We have you on the ballot, on the docket for Jared Camaro Ballard.
No, I'm here for George Barnes, former hearing.
One moment. Okay, I do see you on here for Burns as well. Okay, so then we won't, the other one didn't show up, so we won't go into that. You were on for Jared Camaro Ballard, 2 pretrials and a couple of, actually 4 pretrials. But we'll proceed with Mr. Burns. Are you ready to proceed on Mr. Burns, Mr. Malachi?
Oh, Your Honor, actually, it's a civil infraction. He doesn't have a right to counsel, and I believe that that's going to be a hearing, so I would suggest that we go through some other stuff first.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on his own.
All right, but Officer Shabazz is here, so I don't.
No, I understand. I don't want to, and I'm not trying to hold up Officer Shabazz. I just, the deputy with Samuel Brown, we should be done with him in just a moment, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I will do the one with the deputy, and then I will do George Burns so that we can get Officer Shabazz back to work.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the one in Wayne County Jail is
Samuel Brown, Your Honor. That's a no PO for all his 3 counts.
Now calling the people versus Samuel Michael Brown, ticket number 171727041. Count 1, drove while license not valid or improper license. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. And count 3 is drive while license suspended. Please state your appearance for the record, starting with the attorney.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tim Malafide on behalf of Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, please state your name for the record.
Samuel Brown.
And I apologize, Judge. I know it's my first time in the record, so P72339. Your Honor, today is the date and time set for trial in these matters. The officers have failed to appear. We move to dismiss.
Just verify that we did not have an officer call or try to reach out to the court in any way. One moment, please.
Yeah, take off.
Okay, the court has verified that there is no officer that checked in on this matter. This matter was set for trial at 8:35 a.m. It is now 10:04 a.m. Therefore, we will dismiss this matter without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Well, you have the best day you could possibly have, Mr. Brown.
You too, thank you.
Your Honor, do you want me to take the gentleman that's on Officer Shabazz's case, bring him out?
Yes, please.
Excuse me, Your Honor, you breaking up? Sorry.
Did you get an opportunity to speak to this gentleman? Are you willing to entertain anything?
Your Honor,
Agree.
just for history, this is like a third or fourth time I've been to court, Mr. Barnes. He's adamant, he wants only one offer that the prosecutor wasn't willing to give. This is appeal from an informal hearing, which our offer gave me a good offer, block of in limited access 1 to 5, but he only wants blocking traffic. That's the history of this case. He doesn't
Your
want
Honor,
anything else.
Yes.
I apologize for interrupting Officer Shabazz. I've encouraged Mr. Barnes to make sure that he stays muted unless he's being spoken to, because he has a reverb that is very irritating when other people are trying to talk. So he's going to stay muted unless the court really wants to hear that.
He has a what?
There's a reverb, Judge. When somebody else talks, you're going to hear it repeated back from his speaker.
Mr. Burns, you're not connected on another device, are you?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I couldn't hear that.
You sound fine now. Okay. One moment. I'll call your case momentarily. I need you to turn your camera on, Mr. Burns, and be prepared.
Turn it on.
Turn your camera on. I'm calling the People versus George Collins Burns, SP 130-23751. You do need to mute, Mr. Burns. It's when you move around. So ticket number SP 130-23751. One count of speeding 21 to 25 miles over the speed limit. Please state your appearance for the record, starting with the, we don't have an attorney. Mr. Barnes, you can state your name for the record.
Yes, Officer Abdul
George Barnes.
1194, Detroit Police Department.
We're gonna try that one more time. Officer Shabazz, you go first.
Officer Abdul Shabazz, badge number 1194, Detroit Police.
Thank you. And Mr. Barnes, please state your name again for the record.
George Collins Barnes.
Today is the date and time set for a formal hearing, Mr. Barnes. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Officer Shabazz, I'm going to begin with you.
Yes, ma'am.
You made a stop for Mr. Barnes. I don't know.
On January 18th, 2022, yeah.
One moment, Mr. Shabazz.
Yes. Hold on, the truck, it's too dark in here.
Officer Shabazz, we're just seeking the original ticket right now.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I get kind of connection probably because of this blackout we had. Sorry. Yes. Okay, Your Honor, January 18, 2022, I was operating a LiDAR unit.
Officer Shabazz, Officer
Yes,
Shabazz, give me one moment. We're seeking the ticket. We're looking for the ticket.
Okay.
Officer Shabazz, I think I'm gonna proceed with the hearing, while the court continues to search for the original ticket. Just note that it may render a decision, we'll proceed with the hearing. I'll give the court time to find the original citation.
Okay, Your Honor.
So you can proceed now. Thank you.
Okay, Your Honor. Okay, sorry. On January 18, 2022 at 9:07 p.m., I was stationary traffic sitting on Buffalo Street at East Davidson operating a LiDAR unit. I'm a state certified LiDAR operator. I have been a state certified operator for the past 21 years, and I have been recertified in its use. The LiDAR was checked before and after work. It was in good working condition. It was proved to be accurate, and if it had a reading that was inaccurate, it wouldn't have a speed on that unit. The defendant was driving outside, and also the LiDAR unit is a handheld device. So once you place a laser dot on that vehicle, it gives the speed of the vehicle, and the distance that speed is red. It's up to over 1,000 feet. It's 99.9% accurate. It's not like a radar, which give a cone-shaped radar field. This is pinpoint accuracy on a certain vehicle. I was stationary traffic. I was parked on Davidson at Buffalo. The defendant was traveling eastbound in a silver 2016 Hyundai. At a distance of 282 feet away, he had a reading of 51 miles an hour in the posted 30-mile-an-hour zone. Once I got that reading, I kept visual contact with the defendant, stopped the issue citation of 51 in the posted 30 zone.
Okay, will you raise your, I know I'm a little delayed, but please raise your right hand, Officer Shabazz.
I'm sorry.
Do you swear or affirm that that your testimony that you just gave was the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, officer. Mr. Burns, will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that what you say is the truth, the whole truth?
I do.
So would you like to give your?
I would. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, but it is some feedback. Mostly when I'm you talk.
Okay, I'm gonna try to move close to the mic and kill any background noise. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the time today. I definitely did receive this ticket a little over a year ago, and I waited many months for the court date because my driving record is very, very important to me. I drive 25 to 30,000 miles a year for work. At my prior appearance on this ticket, I stated that the day I received this ticket, I was headed somewhat urgently to check on my mother, who's 81 years old, and she has dementia, and I'm her caregiver. That is, certainly no excuse for the speeding, and I'm not trying to make that excuse. Nor am I contesting the officer's radar gun, as he says that he's trained in that. So I'm not going to contest that. But I had left work urgently, and I was trying to get to her as she was not responding. So certainly I would have been speeding if that's what the gun said. That's what the gun says. But that was why I was speeding. At this time, at a prior hearing, the officer actually did offer, and I thought that it was graciously offered, to reduce the ticket. I believe it was to 1 to 5 miles over. But in talking with my insurer, which is Progressive, they mentioned that any moving violation that I get would likely result in increased premiums. I have been deeply affected by COVID, this whole couple years of COVID era in my personal business and my finances, and just trying to keep my personal bills just to maintain them as they are. So the thought of having an increased bill obviously is problematic for me. And that's the only reason that I've come to court several times now on this ticket. So if I may ask of the court, if it could be considered that this ticket would be reduced to any type of non-point bearing citation.
You requested a formal hearing, Mr. Burns, in order to dispute the facts of the case and or the legal ground, and I have not heard any as of yet. Were you offered, and maybe I'll ask you and then I'll ask Mr. Shabazz, or Officer Shabazz, what was your original offer?
Your Honor, at the original hearing, which was an informal hearing, I offered Mr. Barnes a 1 to 5 limited access, which is 0 points, but it shows on their driving record abstract. The magistrate advised him of that, but he rejected that offer. He wanted a hearing. So then we go to, then he found responsible 51 and a 30. He's adamant that he wanted only 30, he wanted a blockade in traffic. That's the only thing his argument is about. The last time he was in court, the city attorney, a prosecutor offered him another reduced charge. He doesn't want that. Judge Blessed Ford advised him of, you can't always get what you want. We looked at his history. He has an at-fault accident for speeding too fast in recent times since my ticket I issued to him, even though he wasn't issued a citation. So Judge Blessed Ford told him to come back, which is today, with a lawyer. So this is where we are today, Your Honor. So, like, he was doing 51 and he has rejected offers. So I'm, it's been over a year. This is like the fourth date that I have with him, Mr. Barnes. So I'm set for the 51 and the 30, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Burns, again, you've given me no legal argument or you have not disputed the facts in this case. I would have to, I don't have an option right now, but to hold you responsible for the 21, 25 miles per hour over the posted speed. You've been given many opportunities to take a plea agreement that would have been 0 points on your driver's record. And unfortunately, you declined those offers. And so now we're here today without any legal or factual basis on finding you not responsible. Therefore, the court is going to find you responsible for the 21 to 25 miles per hour over this posted speed. That actually that is actually a 3-point violation or 4-point violation, I'm sorry.
Your Honor.
What I would do is limit, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting the court. I believe that the defendant just signed off.
Oh, here he is.
I'll bring him back. Hold on.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Mr. Burns, are you back with us?
Okay, now I hear you.
Were you able to hear anything that I've said?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Did I? You talking to Barnes? I hear you fine now.
Did you hear anything that I said before you got disconnected?
No, I was giving my testimony and then it looked like it switched to the officer in the middle of it and I didn't hear anything else.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I do hear you now, yes.
You put your phone on mute so that there's no feedback and there's no disruption in what is getting to be my ruling. Okay, so after hearing testimony from yourself and from Officer Shabazz, the court has found that there is no legal or factual basis for finding you not responsible for the 21 to 25 miles per hour. Therefore, you will be held responsible for the 21, 25 miles per hour over. You have been given many opportunities. Mr. Malfoy, I think I need you to mute too. Everybody mute, please. We're having feedback. Thank you. Therefore, you will be held responsible for the 21 to 25 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. You have been given many opportunities to take a plea agreement that would be 0 points. However, you refuse those and you have not given any legal or factual basis to find you not responsible today. Therefore, the 21 to 25 over the limit. I will do limited access. I will find you responsible for 2125 over the speed limit, limited access at 3 points instead of 4 points, and that will be a $180 fine that you will be able, that I will have you pay within the next 30 days. So you have $120 fine. $180 fine that will be due to the court by April 10th, 2023. If you are not able to pay it by 2023, show up here in the courtroom on this same Zoom that you're on today so that we can work out an agreement or a payment extension. That concludes your matter. In this case, it is over. Thank you, Officer Shabazz.
I have paid some money already. Would that go toward that?
If it hasn't been forfeited, it will. I'm not in your file to know. I believe that I'm pretty sure that you've shown up for every court hearing. So as long as you did not fail to appear in court and forfeit your bond, it can be applied. You can call 36th District Court. You're gonna have to call, what is the cashier's office.
Okay.
Okay, that concludes this matter. You have a good day. Ready to proceed on the next matter, Mr. Malafide?
Yes, Your Honor, we can do some dismissals. Give me a moment. We could do Darius Braden. Give me a moment, I'll bring him out.
That's my client. I'd be happy to.
Then
Yeah.
I'll bring him out for you.
I give you all the credit. Thank you, Mr. Malafide.
Have you spoken to him, Mr. Bachman? Have you had an opportunity to speak to your client and to the prosecutor?
Yes, we spoke this morning.
Okay. He set you up really. Because I saw you come in and because you were retained, I was gonna take your matter next, but this worked out perfectly.
Perfectly, Your Honor. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Forgive me. I am, if you want to see me, you can. I don't have any lights or power. And this is what I look like this morning. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, don't. And you're in the city because it's cold in your house. I know what's going on in and around the city of Detroit today, so I will not hold that against you.
Yes, mercy for the people that are cold like me. Shoot.
All right. Mr. Darius Braden, now calling Darius, the people versus Darius Cornell Braden, ticket number SP 133-6276, count 1 and count 3. Ticket number SP 133-6281, count 1, 2, and 3, and ticket number, and that is it. That concludes those tickets. Mr. Bachman, please state your appearance for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Harry Boffman for the defendant. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Darius Braden.
Thank you, and good morning, Mr. Braden, Your Honor. These are matters that are set for trial at 9 a.m. It being now sometime past that hour, and the defendant continuing a not guilty plea. Would you consider here today a motion to dismiss without prejudice, please?
So consider the court has verified that we do not have an officer that checked into the courtroom for the 8:35 hearing. It is now 10:29 a.m. Therefore, this matter will be dismissed without prejudice. However, Mr. Braden, what kind of vehicle do you drive?
I still got the same vehicle, the Volkswagen Passat.
Okay, do you have current plates now?
Yeah, I have current plates. I have current insurance.
Okay. And do you have a driver's license?
Yes.
Okay. You keep all those documents in the car with you at all times, because if any other matters come before me, I will have these previous cases that you've been so blessed to have dismissed today, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Keep all documentation with you at all times, and you have a great day.
Thank
Okay,
you
thank
kindly,
you. I
Your Honor. You
appreciate
have a
it.
great day too. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Your Honor, I have Benjamin Blocker next. That's a dismissal for proof of registration.
Okay, one moment. I'll keep this. And do you have Mr. Blocker here? Oh, yes, I see him.
He's ready right now, Judge. He's here.
All right, now I'm calling the People versus Benjamin Allen Blocker, ticket number P 1384515, one count of driving unregistered untitled vehicle. Please state your appearance for the record, starting with the attorney.
Tim Malafide on behalf of Mr. Blocker. Mr. Blocker, please state your name for the record.
Benjamin Allen Blocker.
Your Honor, today's the date and time, I believe, set for pretrial in this matter. Mr. Blocker has shown me proof of valid registration for the car that he is driving now. The previous car, as I believe, has been sold or disposed of, and it is valid now. We move to dismiss based on that valid documentation.
And did you spoke to the prosecutor already about that?
No, Your Honor.
But you did verify that he has valid documentation?
That is accurate. Yes, Your Honor.
And what type of vehicle was it?
Judge, I did not write it down. Mr. Blocker, can you confirm to us what the vehicle was?
A 2013 Toyota Camry.
And that is what you show to Mr. Malafide for your current registration?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the court will take note that an officer of the court has verified that you have valid doc, therefore would dismiss this matter without prejudice, which means that the people can bring this matter back before me if they so choose. But as of right now, the matter is dismissed without prejudice, and that concludes this case, and you have a good day, Mr. Blocker.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have another dismissal I'm going to bring out for documentation. That would be Tosho Bobo Askew. I'll bring her out now.
I wanted to see what
October 27th.
Your Honor, I have Ms. Bobo Askew ready.
One moment, Mr. Malafide.
You're nothing.
So it's either that or this. It's either that or this.
Just hold on, Ms. Bobo Askew.
Mr. Malafide, are you aware that she has 2 future show cause dates?
Judge, I only see the tickets that were in front of me, so those are the ones that we addressed.
All right. Mr. Malphite, would you mind if we pulled the ones from the future day into today's hearing?
Of course not, Judge. Obviously, anything we can do to make it easier for her. If I may, Judge, what are the other tickets for?
Excuse me, one moment, I'll tell you. Oh, no, one insurance including and one driver's license. I'm looking at the printout, and it's got a really an abbreviation of NBACQ. Never
Driver's
required.
license never required.
Never required.
So it's a license ticket, and what was the other one, Your Honor?
Insurance.
Okay, I think we actually might be able to do those right away. Ms. Bowe, will ask you, I don't recall if, did you confirm whether or not you have your license or no?
I have a state issued license for from the state police, and I am trying to restore my license now.
Okay, I think we'll have to run, Judge, we'll have to run an SOS to see exactly what the status is on her license, because that sounds like a restricted to me.
Yeah.
And why is it restricted, Ms. Vasquez?
A few years ago, I had an accident and the police basically said that I had an OUI, and I've never been to court for it. I've been trying to get it under wraps. It's like being in limbo right now, not really knowing what to do. And when you call one place, they tell you one thing, and I'm kind of just losing hope, honestly.
What city was it in, Ms. Vasquez?
I cannot hear.
What city was that in?
It was in Detroit.
Okay, we're gonna try to do what we can, at least here. You said that happened in the city of Detroit as well?
Yes, borderline Highland Park, but it was the state police that had it's Taylor and Taylor, the Taylor Post.
No. Okay, so I won't be able to help you on the OWI matter at all. Your driver's license is currently suspended. Oh,
Suspended because of financial obligations. Yep.
I'm sorry. Mr. Malachi, how can we proceed?
Generally, Judge, I think that probably what would happen there, because again, I've seen insurance and registration in this matter, so what it would usually be is an FTD.
Which is what?
It would be, so she'd have a pleaded an FTD and the rest would be dismissed if I heard you correctly, because she has the two counts. She has a registration and insurance, which I have seen, which means that the third count, the one that you just mentioned, which was also insurance, would also be dismissed, which would leave us with the driving license suspended or driver's license never required, the way that it's written, and it would be reduced down to a failure to display. That's what she would plead to.
So she was able to get her license, her insurance and a registration on the vehicle without having a valid driver's license?
At the time, it was still valid.
Okay.
Your Honor. Yep.
All right. Okay.
This literally just happened within a few days ago.
Oh, then it's just not in the system yet, Judge. That's our issue.
Got it.
Yeah.
FTD on that one. And then we have, and we're not on the record yet, by the way, I'm just trying to sort through these and figure out what we can do to ensure that.
Judge, can I make a suggestion?
Wait, before you make a suggestion, you need to know exactly what's going on. She also has two that are in default that I will set aside on the record, but it's a disregarding signal red or amber, and then a defective brake light. Both occurring in 2022. Okay, what's your suggestion?
Judge, see at this point, because of the amount that we have there, I'm a little bit torn because technically speaking, everything that she's saying does track, and really those should be, at least if we're talking about not the civil infractions, but the other matters, it does seem like that actually would be accurate, and that those all should be dismissed, because if her license wouldn't be suspended now, it would be restricted, as she said, because that is the first thing that happens when somebody is accused of an OWI. They take your license, they hand you, usually it is a pink or yellow slip, and attached to it, and then what it says is that you can drive between the hours of such and such to go to such and such. And so that's still a license. It's still valid. And technically speaking, when she would have gotten the other tickets, she would have had a valid license. But it does get complicated because we have the two civil infractions, Judge. And to be perfectly frank, while I can think of what I think would be the normal offers, I would have to defer to Mr. Goss on this one, just because that part is not my, I don't feel as comfortable telling the court what I think would happen.
Yeah, and while I admire you zealously defending your client, I don't see a restricted driver's license on this driving SOS.
No, I understand that, Judge. And to be frank, this is the hardest part about SOS is that it's one of those things that we have to be looking at together, because sometimes they're very difficult to read. And I have not looked at one in, gosh, it's been almost 13 months, it feels. So I am not in a position to refute or correct because it's not in front of me.
Okay, so I am getting Mr. Goss here, and Ms. Askew, as I look at your driving record, Ms. Askew, where did you go? Okay,
I'm here.
We're still in court. That's the equivalency of you walking away from the podium, okay? So you stay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know that.
Okay, so I'm looking at your driving record. We are going to do what we can on our part to help you to restore.
And I'm definitely trying to do what I can.
But as I look at, and I'm not saying that you're going to continue to do what you always did, because I'm hoping that you don't. However, based on what you have been doing, you have to do better. You have to do better, or it's gonna be an ever evolving cycle. If you're drinking, get an Uber, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to get an Uber than to rack up all of these tickets. But I'm trying to get a prosecutor in here to get a global offer on some of these other outstanding matters you have, because I really do want you to be able to get this matter resolved, and then hopefully you can figure out what happened with the OWI and get that matter resolved as well.
Judge?
Yes.
If I can make one more suggestion, because actually I think that this may work. If the court is not willing to dismiss on the driving license suspended or driver's license never acquired, actually that might work out better, because what we could do is plead her to that and then dismiss the civil infractions.
That is what I was leaning towards.
I think that would work best.
So we do have the registered vehicle that you verified, correct?
Correct. So the insurance and the registration match, yes, Your Honor, and they are valid through, I believe, August.
And therefore, a 2007 Jeep, right?
I don't, Ms. Bobo ask you, is that right?
I didn't hear what she
2007 Jeep, is that right? I don't recall.
It was a Jeep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And the Jeep is registered in your name, Ms. Askew?
It was. The transmission went out, Your Honor, and I have a 2004, which we verified with insurance and registration.
Okay, so that's what we saw. It was for the 2004. Okay.
So I'm in agreement with you on that one. We have reached an agreement, Mr. Malphite, due to your defending your client. What we're gonna do, let me go ahead and put this on the record so that we don't have to repeat all of this again. Okay, let me see what we have here. We can pick that back so I don't have it in the file. And I will be calling all of these matters. All right. Now calling the people versus Tasha Ashanti Bobo Askew, ticket number P1349111. One count one of no insurance misdemeanor, count two of drive unregistered or untitled vehicle. Ticket number SP 135-42132. One count of driver's license never acquired. Ticket number SP 135-42131. One count of no insurance misdemeanor. Ticket number SP 135-42152. One count of defective brake lights that is in default. Ticket number SP 135-42151. One count of disregarding signal red or amber that is in default. Please state your appearance for the record, starting with the attorney.
Tim Malafide on behalf of Ms. Bobo Askew. Ms. Bobo Askew, please state your name for the record.
My name is Tenisha Ashanti Bobo Askew.
Thank you so much. Your Honor, as to the matters that are in default at this time, Judge, we would move to have those reinstated.
The court will set aside both of the matters that are in default.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, I have had an opportunity to look at good registration and insurance for the vehicle that Ms. Bobo Askew is presently driving. I do not believe that it is the listed car that the court had mentioned previously, a 2007 vehicle, if I'm not mistaken, a Jeep. Judge, based on the representations and the paperwork that I have seen at this time, we'd like to take advantage of the recommendation that was discussed previously, that being that she would plead to one count of failure to display, all other counts being dismissed. Is that your understanding, Ms. Bobo Askew?
Yes.
Okay, stipulate to the four corners of the document or the ticket.
Yes, Your Honor.
And stipulate to a proper clause on dismissal.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bobo Askew, were you able to talk to him about your rights and whether or not you had a right to a trial? You talked to Mr. Malafide about those rights?
No, not really.
Can you do it?
But I wanted to dismiss it. I don't want to fight. I know I was in the wrong and I am trying to fix that.
We did kind of talk about it there, Ms. Bobo Askew. I think you just
Oh,
don't
we
remember
did?
because it's been a little bit. Yes, we did, but it's okay.
So you should have been advised that you have a right to a trial, which means that you have a right to a trial before me as the trier of fact or before a jury. And you will be giving up that right. Is that your understanding if you take this plea? And
Yes.
did anyone force you or promise you anything in exchange for your guilty plea today?
No.
Are you pleading guilty on your own free will?
Yes,
Pleading guilty because you actually are guilty.
I am.
So the court will enter a guilty plea of the amended charge of failure to display on the driver's license never acquired and dismiss all other counts. The failure to display ticket, Ms. Askew, are you working currently?
I am. I'm trying to get more work, Your Honor.
Would you want, okay, so here are your options. You can pay the $220 fee or you can do community service. Which would you like?
I would rather pay it.
Okay, so I'll give you 60 days to pay the $220. That will be due on May 19th, 2023. If you don't pay it by then, you need to show up in court on May 19th.
Okay.
That concludes this matter. You have a good day. Good luck.
Thank you.
And that's, if you don't pay it, then you'll appear on May 19th here at 8:35 a.m. if I didn't.
Oh, I'm paying it, Your Honor. I'm paying that.
Okay, so you're all set. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, Mr. Malafide. That worked out.
Thank you. I can bring out, unless Mr. Arm has something ready, I can bring out Nishika Boone.
Yeah, I have Deontay Burnett. He's on the screen. Deontay Brown, sorry.
Yancey Brown. Mr. Brown, will you turn your camera on, please? Is this a part of it? Mr. Brown, will you turn your camera on, please? Deontay Brown, will you turn your phone off of mute and communicate as to why you're not following my direction?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, for some reason, they say the host disabled my camera.
It said the host disabled your camera?
Yeah, well, here it goes on now.
Okay. Now calling the people versus Deontay Rashawn Brown, ticket number P 1330571. Count 1, allowing unlicensed driver to drive. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, drive unregistered and untitled or untitled vehicle. Please state your appearances for the record, starting with the attorney.
Morning, Judge Daniel Arm, P61007 on behalf of Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown, will you state your name for the record?
Deontay Rashawn Brown.
Today is the date and time set for an arraignment on a bench warrant. Mr. How would you like to proceed?
Ask the court to set aside that bench warrant. And
The court will call the bench warrants in this matter.
I did see what appears to be valid insurance, valid registration for Mr. Brown. I spoke to Mr. Goss. He said that being the case, he's prepared to dismiss the allowed unlicensed driver as well.
One moment, Mr. I'm having a hard time hearing you. Ms. Boone, will you mute your phone? Mr. Brown, if that noise is coming from your background, will you mute your phone until I'm ready to speak to you? Okay. Mr. Armour, will you try that one more time? Because I really could not hear anything that you said.
Sure. My client has shown me what appears to be a valid insurance document, a valid registration. I communicated that to Mr. Goss. He said he's prepared to dismiss the third charge as well, to allow an unlicensed driver.
Oh, really? Okay. And what type of vehicle did you verify insurance and registration on?
Oh, I don't recall at this stage.
Mr. Brown, what vehicle was the insurance and registration that you provided for? Mr. Brown, can you hear us?
2012 Chrysler 300.
Perfect. Okay, so therefore the court will dismiss all 3 counts without prejudice. Mr. Brown, that means that the people can bring these matters back if they so choose. However, today this matter is dismissed, and that concludes this matter for today. Make sure that you're keeping those documents that you show, Mr. Arm.
It
Keep those.
was a 2012 Chrysler 300.
Keep those documents in the vehicle with you at all times. That concludes your matter. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have Nishikia Boone ready. That's going to be a plea to a failure to display.
Okay, Mr. Arm, you can go in and grab your next client as well and bring them into the waiting room. Or the main session, please. Ms. Boone, will you please turn your camera on? Thank you. Now calling the people versus Nishika Charnice Boone, ticket number P 1383928. Count 1, drove while license not valid or improper license. Count 2, drove with a bright, glaring, or without lights or failure to dim lights. Count 3, no proof of insurance. Please state your appearance for the record, starting with the attorney.
Tim Malafide on behalf of Ms. Boone. Ms. Boone, please state your name for the record.
Nishika Boone.
And Judge, I'm sure as you can see, Ms. Boone's visual is not very great. So if we could avoid having her keep that on, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I just turned that off before I got dizzy.
Yeah.
Ms. Boone, just so you know, I did turn your camera off. I don't think that because there's something.
Yeah, it's making me.
Yeah, we had it before.
Making me dizzy as well. I don't know what's wrong.
Okay, how would you like to proceed? Well, today is the date and time set for a pretrial on count 1 and a hearing for counts 2 and 3.
Your Honor, there have been recommendations put forth. We'd like to take advantage of those recommendations. Specifically, should be pleading to 1 amended count of failure to display, other count being dismissed, the other 2 counts. We'd stipulate to probable cause in the dismissals, Judge, as well.
Okay. And stipulate to the 4 corners of the ticket for factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Boone, you had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Malfoy in the breakout room. He advised you of your rights, correct?
He said that,
Did he advise you of your rights, Ms. Boone?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did anyone
Yes,
threaten?
Judge.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. You can just say yes or no as I ask each question,
Okay.
okay?
I just, okay.
Did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea today?
No.
And you are pleading guilty on your own free will?
Yes.
And you're pleading guilty because you actually are guilty?
Yes.
Do you understand that pleading guilty today will waive your right to a trial?
Yes.
You're giving up that right, and you're okay, and knowing that you're giving up that right, you would still like to enter the plea of guilty? Would you still like to plead guilty knowing that you're giving up your right to a trial?
Yes.
Okay. The court will enter a guilty plea to an amended charge of failure to display. That fee will be $220. Ms. Bone, how long do you need to pay that?
4 weeks, ma'am.
4 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. One moment. I am going to give you until April 10th, 2023 to pay it, Ms. Bone.
Okay.
And if you do not pay by April 10th, you need to appear before me in court on that date at 8:35 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
That concludes your matter. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Your Honor, I only have one matter left. It's a plea. Oh, wait, where did he go? Perhaps I don't, Judge. They do not seem to be here anymore.
Mr. Bone, or Mr. Arm, do you have any more? Mr. Arm, do you have any more?
No, Judge, that's all I have.
This makes up for yesterday. Do you want to stick around, Mr. Malafide, for a while?
I have, due respect, Judge, I absolutely don't. I have somewhere else I need to be.
Okay.
I'm available.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
We can call Mr. Arm if your client shows back up. Will you at least tell us what the offer was? Or I guess he really has to go.
You didn't say the name.
That's why he wanted me to take that interview. Mr. Arm, we'll call you if his client shows back up, but I don't even know who it is to say that, well, we at least know that they checked in.
Right.
And won't issue a warrant. So we'll give you a call if we need you, Mr. Arm.
Very well. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.